I'm so excited to be with you here today. My team will be joining shortly as well. I know we're all just like getting situated. Please make sure you know where the chat is because we are going to use it today, especially for the audit. We're going to be like tallying things up as we go along. And if you have questions along the way, feel free to drop them in the chat. We should have time for questions, of course, at the end. So I just want to make sure we get to that, but just drop them in along the way in case we just start answering them in the chat with you. Okay. All right. Come say hi. Tell us where you're coming from. We want to get to know you, of course. And we should be about 50 to 60 minutes today. I'm going to be as concise as possible. But sometimes I like to dive in really deep. So let's start. We're at 12:01. We're going to get started. Can everyone see my screen? Like it says today's agenda right now. Just someone give me a yes in the chat as long as you can see it, because I just want to make sure. I've had some of these where I'm like 5 slides in and someone will be like, I don't think the slides have changed. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Annabelle. Thank you, Jenna. All right, so this is today's agenda. We are going to jump right into the symptom audit. Like, let's go. So if you have a paper handy, pen and paper, or you want to just use your notes app, that's fine. It's going to be really interactive. We're going to map out your symptoms and see where they're stemming from. Then I'm going to teach a little bit more about the why behind these symptoms. We're going to review the most common underlying root causes for these symptoms. And then we're going to dive into creating a resilient gut because that's what we need to do in order to heal. All right. And that's going to be more of a step-by-step roadmap we use with our autoimmune and Hashimoto's thyroid clients to heal and build a resilient gut. So this class is for you if you are ready to test, not guess. You are done DIYing things or duct taping advice you hear by yourself and actually test for your root cause issues with a proven approach. If you are feeling stuck after trying elimination diets and supplements, maybe you've tried things like AIP, Whole30, cutting out gluten and sugar, throwing every magic pill you can find at the issue and still feel stuck. Oh, okay. I just want to make sure. Okay, Marisa, let us know if you need anything. If you want a root cause approach, you are done with the band-aids and ready to be more strategic to overcome symptoms and feel stronger and more confident in how you maintain it day to day. So before we dive in, like I said, we really are going to get started with the audit. So just get ready to tally up your symptoms. There's about 3 slides that we are going to use that we're going to determine, we're going to do the self-assessment to better determine where these issues are stemming from. So get yourself ready. Just give me a yes in the chat when you feel ready to go that you can tally everything up, whether you're doing old-fashioned pen and paper or you're jotting it down in your notes app. And we're just going to keep a score all along the way. And you're going to share in the chat with me. Okay. And the other thing that we are going to do, if you just, as you see the slides, awesome. Thanks, guys. As you see the slides, at the top of the slide, you're going to see where like the main issues are stemming from. So just jot those down for yourself. So you're like, oh, most of my symptoms are coming from this area. So just jot those down and then you're just going to tally them up along the way. Okay, guys. All right, let's do it. So first check-in. I'm going to read a list of thyroid-connected symptoms. And you guys can see this, right? All looking good. So we're going to count how many especially apply to you in the past 6 months at least, okay? So we have unexplained weight changes. That could be either a lot of gaining, a lot of losing, irregular or painful menstrual cycles, fatigue that does not improve with rest, brain fog or memory issues, always cold, or especially like your hands and feet. So you want to jot that down. Hair thinning or hair loss, heart palpitations or slow heart rate, mood changes, anxiety or depression, muscle weakness or aches, and high cholesterol despite a clean diet. So I'm going to leave this on the screen. A couple people fell off and came back in. Go ahead and tally those up and tell me in the chat how many did you check? Thank you. Okay, 7 out of 10. Don't worry about that sad face, girl. You're in the right place. Jenna, okay, fives I'm seeing. 5, 8. It's okay, my love. We are here for you. 4. This is super helpful. I want you to remember all along the way today that data is neutral. And that's what this is. This is just data. Your body is speaking to you all the time. We're here to help make sense of it. Like, what do you want from me, body? Right? Okay. Okay, 4, 5, 8. Okay. This is such great findings, guys. Are we all good with slide 1? I know some people just joined. If you need to take a screenshot too, feel free to take a screenshot. That could be an easy thing to do too. If we feel good, I'm going to move on to the second slide. Okay. So this is audit check-in number 2. These are specifically related more to gut and stomach acid symptoms. So again, how many of you experienced at least in the last 6 months? Starting with constipation, which would mean fewer than 1 complete bowel movement per day. And even if you are having 1 bowel movement per day, if they look like little, like rabbit poop, like little pellets, or it's very hard to pass, or it doesn't feel like it feels like you could have eliminated more, but it didn't come out, you're constipated. Okay. So I just always want to make that distinction. Bloating or gas after meals, heartburn or acid reflux, nausea when taking supplements or vitamins, undigested food in the stool, more than 3 to 4 food sensitivities, histamine reactions like flushing, hives, itching, frequent gut infections or dysbiosis. So if you are someone that has done some gut testing before and you know that, there we go. Feeling worse after eating despite eating clean. So this, you might feel really exhausted or just like really bloated or just like, ugh, that was like a beautiful meal. Why didn't it make me feel good, or energized? Fatigue or brain fog after meals is another big thing. Okay, I'm seeing 6. Oh, I love this distinction. 4 when I'm stressed, 3 normally. You already know one of your biggest triggers, and that is most people's biggest trigger. So thank you for sharing that. 6, 3, 5. Okay. Well, you guys are in the right place. So that is the good news. That is the good news. These are so related to each other. So we're excited to dig in more to how. I know there was some new people just joining, so we are on our second slide of the audit. I just want to go quickly. I'm going to do this one time. I'm going to go back to the first slide so you can take a screenshot for anyone who missed it because like 4 people just joined. I just want to make sure they get the first one, okay? So the thyroid connected symptoms slide, this was the first one. So just take a screenshot of that and then tally up your symptoms. Good? Just let me know if we're not. And then this is the second one that we just did that everyone scored themselves on. And now we're going to do the last one, the third one, okay? So this one is specific to dysbiosis, which is an imbalance in bacteria, gut infections, or parasite symptoms. So again, how many have applied to you in the last 6 months? Heartburn, reflux, nausea regularly. Doesn't have to be all of those, but any of those regularly. Oftentimes we'll hear people say, I feel nauseous in the morning. I'm not craving breakfast. I feel nausea after certain meals, for example, and then things like, of course, the heartburn and reflux being an issue, maybe with certain meals. Even guys, even if it's like, oh, because I ate something spicy, jot it down. Okay. Chronic constipation or diarrhea or loose stool, skin rashes, thyroid antibodies that will not go down no matter what, nutrient deficiencies despite supplementing, worsening food sensitivities. I have a typo there. Oops. Histamine reactions, like again, the flushing, hives, itching, even sinus issues, stuff like that. Chronic bloat and distension, especially with meals, and then especially at the end of the day. Like you feel like it was just like a whole cascade throughout the day. And then gas as well with that. Weakened immune system. So if you're just like always getting sick, and then intense sugar or carb cravings as well. So drop your number in the chat for this third one. So I think we started with 3, 3, 7, 5, 3, a lot of threes. Okay. Really important data here, guys. This is great to know. Okay. I'm sorry you have been struggling with these things, but it is really important to isolate. Okay. For anyone who's just joining, guys, I think what I'll do is either send a recording of this part for you because I just want to make sure you can do the audit, or like a list of them so that you can do them. Okay. So don't worry if you've missed out, but basically we're just getting a sense of your main symptoms and where they're stemming from. So now we want to add it up. So you had 3 sections that you gave yourself a score. How many did you check in all 3? And then type that total number in the chat. $12, $19. And ladies, tell me too, like, of those symptoms, what's especially like pick one that's really driving you up the wall, that is the reason you're here today. Because I want to know what we're really trying to resolve. 12, 19, 14, can't reduce antibodies. We hear it a lot. Bloating. All caps. I've been there. Been there, been there. Okay, 11. Can't reduce antibodies, brain fog. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, guys. And again, for anyone just joining, like this is here so that we can listen to your body's calls for help at this point. That is what symptoms are. That is what data is. It's not to freak out, scare, shame anybody that they're not doing enough, like any of that. We are so here for you on all of this. Irregular periods, cold hands and feet, brain fog and bloating. Yes. Yes. Oh my God. Yes. 9. Okay. Guys, for some reason, it's not auto muting everyone. Just do me a favor, make sure you're on mute. Okay. Hair thinning and histamine reaction. Hives and recurrent pregnancy. I'm so sorry, Melissa. Thank you for sharing that. I don't know how much you know about my story. I'll get into it, but hair loss was a big thing for me. So you are in the right room, guys. And what's really interesting about that combined number, a lot of these symptoms map to something we actually see all the time in our functional testing that we use with clients. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean in a minute. But I want to go through what your total score means. So no one was really 1 to 5 on the total score, but that would indicate we're in beginning stages, right? There's spectrums of these things. And a lot of times in the beginning stages, we're just kind of normalizing it. Like, well, my parents have those issues too, or I've had that since I was a kid. Doesn't everybody have bloating at the end of the day? Doesn't everyone get constipated? That kind of stuff, okay? But we know it'll progress as years go on and things are being unaddressed. Then from 6 to 12, which I think we saw some 11s and 12s possibly. I think I saw at the low end. Yeah. This is where a lot of people will stay stuck for years, but you don't have to. 13 to 20, I think this is where a lot of people fell in. Your gut is begging for help. And today we're going to change that. Okay. And then if you were 21 to 30, it's just a like black and white root causes have been unaddressed for too long and it's time to fix it. Okay. And like I said, this is not fear mongering. We are not here to like promote any kind of health anxiety. That's not our vibe. That doesn't heal anyone. We are just so adamant about saying, okay, we need to know the data, and data is neutral, but it's really powerful when you use it effectively to actually address root causes and give your body what it needs to heal, because trust me, it was made to and it will. Okay. So every one of those symptoms has a digestive root cause. So if you're someone that's been unsure of like, do I need to do gut healing? Like all my problems are this, are thyroid or Hashimoto's or hormone stuff or autoimmune. Autoimmune is gut problems. So all of this is stemming from digestion. And here's how I know. Your gut is the epicenter of your health, right? Hippocrates said hundreds and hundreds of years ago, all disease begins in the gut. And the gut is connected to every body system. Then your thyroid is the thermostat of your body. Your thyroid runs so much heart rate, metabolism, digestion, hormones. This is why symptoms feel all over the map. Okay. And then, so they work together. The thyroid and gut work together. And when they are struggling, when that connection is struggling, the symptoms are loud and persistent, and they really have a domino effect across the body. So you being here is a change of tides, ladies. We are no longer normalizing chronic symptoms or accepting it as something we have to deal with. We are doing something about this. So we know your symptom score and where they are the loudest, like what area they are stemming from. So let's dig into the why behind the symptoms now. So in a nutshell, this is the thyroid gut connection. And this is the chicken and egg situation that keeps most women stuck. Okay. So we start with the biggest domino issue here, low thyroid hormone, which leads to low stomach acid. It starts to suppress stomach acid. By the way, low or fluctuating thyroid hormone. So if you see it go up and down and up and down, then key nutrients are depleted. Key nutrients like zinc, selenium, iodine, and taurine, things that your thyroid needs to function. Okay. And so what happens is your thyroid just stays struggling. And it actually gets stuck not being able to convert T4, which is the inactive form of the thyroid hormone. And that's what's in like Synthroid and Levomeds, to the active version, which is T3. And so the nasty cycle just continues. And it's why you can eat, guys, the cleanest diet imaginable and still not feel right. It's not what you're eating, it's what you're actually absorbing and the environment that it's received in to really sink in, okay? And so because stomach acid is low, which by the way, has a huge role, it protects us by disinfecting food and breaking it down to absorb, okay? Because that is low, the door is just swung open for gut infections, dysbiosis, SIBO, leaky gut, food sensitivities, and histamine reactions, even parasites. I had someone recently tell me, I keep getting food poisoning. No one else gets food poisoning. We're eating the same food. I remember those days. Low stomach acid, right? We can't protect ourselves the way our body should be able to. And so then women have these digestive issues, they're having these symptoms, they're reading online about diets. And so we start restricting more and doing more elimination diets, thinking that that's the problem and that's what's going to solve it. Not really. It's more upstream than that. Give me a yes in the chat if this is clicking for you. Awesome. Good. Because once you know this, you can't unknow this, right? Like things are starting to click in a different way of like, okay, of course I want to eat well. I want to nourish my body, but I don't want to be stressed by food. Oh my God, Julie, every time we do this, we have someone that's like, I've been on AIP for some crazy amount of years. We want you to be able to eat more variety of foods. Okay, because that's healing. All right. But I get why we do get stuck on these diets. I certainly did. Okay. All right, I'm so glad it's clicking. So here's how I know so much about this. So 13 years ago, my health took a turn. I had a lifetime of normalizing digestive and hormonal symptoms like constipation, bloat, terribly painful periods. And by the time I was 27, I got off the birth control pill that I'd been on for a decade, and all hell broke loose. I had mysterious skin rashes, hives randomly, especially with meals. My bloat was unhideable, distended, not fitting into my pants by the end of the day. I didn't know then that it was SIBO and parasites and leaky gut and all these things. I was exhausted. Like I felt like I had been hit by a bus by the afternoon, just surviving off of cappuccinos, essentially. I was gaining weight. I was dealing with joint pain, especially in my knees. And what really pushed me over the edge was watching my hair fall out in globs. Over 3 years of getting nowhere with doctors and being told my labs were normal, I lost 75% of it while I waited to finally get diagnosed with Hashimoto's hypothyroidism and PCOS. But that diagnosis wasn't the happily ever after. It was a turning point when I realized this was a whole new path now. I had data, right? And I could go figure out how to support my body because I quickly figured out no one was coming to save me and I was going to need to figure this out. So here's what I wish someone had told me. I had Hashimoto's, I had gut issues, and I was working with a functional medicine doctor, a really good one. I was testing, I was treating. We found SIBO and we treated it. Then it came back, so we treated it again. In fact, I had it 3 times that year. I had SIBO. It was pretty rough. And each time we would do antibiotics or an herbal protocol, and it would work for like a couple of weeks and then it wouldn't. And I kept thinking, like, what am I doing wrong? I'm eating clean. I'm taking the supplements. I'm following the protocol. Like, check, 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 right? Why does this keep happening? And here's what I eventually figured out myself as a nutritional therapy practitioner. And this changed everything. We were always treating what was there, but we were never asking why it was there in the first place. So my terrain, the actual environment inside my gut, was still the same terrain that made it really easy for SIBO to grow and exist. Low stomach acid, impaired motility, a compromised gut lining. We killed the infection, but I still left the welcome mat out. Does that make sense? We didn't change why it was there to begin with. So that's the thing nobody tells you. You can take all the right supplements, kill all the right bugs, and if you haven't shifted the terrain, your body will just recreate the same issue. These bugs have nothing else better to do but survive inside of you. They will come right back. And we see it constantly. And the reason I know this is we've helped over 500 women with conditions like Hashimoto's, gut issues, IBS, autoimmune. And the ones who stay stuck are the ones who only addressed one of these paths that you see here, or one piece of the path. And the ones who get better and stay better address both together. So the two parallel paths that should be happening at the same time, we address root causes. So that's the infections, the parasites, the leaky gut, like whatever the thing is, right? While we address the terrain, which is the environment within your digestive system and in your body that allowed it to happen in the first place. And that's how we actually heal. So in a little bit, I'm going to show you more about the exact framework we use to create a resilient gut by addressing both of those things at the same time. But first, I want to dig into the most common root causes that go unaddressed that we see over and over and over again in our practice. And we find these through comprehensive stool testing, which general doctors are just not running. And so we find issues like H. pylori, SIBO, Candida, bacterial overgrowths and dysbiosis, which is again that imbalance of bacteria, and parasites. It tests for a lot, guys, like not just those things, but those are the most common things that we usually uncover, as well as other issues like impaired detox. My thyroid girlies have very impaired detox a lot. Gluten antibodies, so just legit, their body is reacting to gluten, and high inflammation. Okay, and now I'm going to share a bit more about each. So just keep a little note if any of them sound like you. Okay, number one is H. pylori. It resides in the stomach lining. Okay. Lowering stomach acid, which we just talked about as being such a big problem, and causing nutrient depletion and impacting thyroid dysfunction, leading to more gut infections and a range of digestive issues. And it can be a precursor to more serious issues. And unfortunately, is commonly missed by GI doctors who only test blood or endoscopy. It's not anybody's fault. They just use different tools. But oftentimes, like we've had so many clients like, oh yeah, my GI tested me for that. They said I don't have that. One sample later, I'm like, no, it's actually raging. Like we have to do something about this. Okay. So these are the most common signs that you may have it. Always dealing with nausea or a sour stomach, reflux or heartburn, or again, that silent reflux, which might be more like always clearing your throat, coughing a lot kind of after meals, maybe some sinus issues or dripping like postnasal drip. Those are really common silent reflux things. And so we don't know that that's reflux. And so we don't ever complain about it. We don't say anything about it. We're just like, oh, I don't know, maybe allergies or I don't know what's up with that. But that's a hallmark sign. Food sensitivities, nutrient deficiency. So if you're getting your blood work done and it's like you're low in X and Y and Z and you're like, I take a multivitamin, I eat well, what the heck? We often see that bacteria or infections or overgrowths are kind of stealing a lot of the nutrients, or you are unable to actually absorb nutrients. Upper belly bloat, so this would be a little bit higher up bloat. And if you happen to know, because not everyone would know this, but if your partner or kid had it, it's important to know that it's contagious. And if your partner or kid or anyone, that you're kind of swapping spit with or sharing utensils with, has it or has these symptoms all the time. So if you're like, oh, my husband has some of these things a lot, it's just good to know. Okay. And so we really want to get it out of the house. Then we have SIBO, my arch nemesis, the small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. SIBO really thrives in an unfavorable gut environment. And so, look, with all of these, addressing the terrain is important, but this for me, especially when I kept relapsing, this was the biggest problem for me, is that I was not addressing those underlying terrain factors. Things like low stomach acid, motility issues in my day-to-day schedule, so to speak, which we'll talk about. And this is really crucial for lasting relief and preventing recurrence, because there's a super high rate of recurrence. Someone that I recently spoke to was like, yeah, my GI doctor just told me I had SIBO for life now, and that I would do 3 or 4 rounds of antibiotics per year for it, but that it would always come back. I was like, no, no, you can get rid of it. Okay. And a recurrence isn't a failure, but it's important to know why and to not only keep banging the same like hammer, right, as your only tool. So these are the signs you may have it. It's the hallmark thing is like really bad abdominal bloating and distension, especially by the end of the day. Okay. And with meals. Constipation or diarrhea, nutrient deficiencies again, fatigue, excessive gas and flatulence, and then even carb intolerance. This is where kind of like the low FODMAP situation comes in, which I'm not a fan of. Not a fan of. And it's just important to know, like if you eat carbs, even healthy ones, a potato, some rice, something like that, and you're like, oh, I can't deal with this. Like I'm immediately bloated. I immediately feel sick. This is important to know. Okay, then we have Candida, which is a yeast, and it disrupts the natural balance of gut bacteria. And while naturally present in small amounts, it can overgrow due to diet, stress, medications. And again, it doesn't have to just be the past 5 years of your life. It can be the whole life, right? I mean, I was born in the late 80s, guys. I was put on antibiotics since I was born, just for like ear infections, sniffles, like just it was the thing to do. You just, oh, antibiotic, right? So it took a little undoing some of my history as well. And so Candida really causes a lot of digestive distress, a lot of fatigue, brain fog. And so you can see the signs that you may have it. Intense sugar and carb cravings are another really big thing. I always like to tell people when people are like, oh, I have a sweet tooth. It's like, no. Well, everyone has a sweet tooth. Like it's for survival. You just need a quick source of fuel. There's a lot more to it. Your gut bugs might be demanding it. Your blood sugar might be completely imbalanced, things like that. So when we address these at a root cause level, it's not such a problem that's plaguing you anymore. Okay. Chronic fatigue, constipation, or diarrhea, a lot of these have overlap, but important to look at the signs together. Brain fog, and then really like this can all lead to more system-wide inflammation in general. Then we have bacterial overgrowth and dysbiosis, which I want to say we see in everybody. Regardless if any of these infections come back, we pretty much see this with anyone with autoimmune disease. And so this is really important to address. So think of it this way. You've got good guys and you got not so good guys in the gut. In low amounts, they're probably not bothering. They have some kind of purpose and it's okay, right? But when they start overgrowing things like strep, yeah, like even group A, group B strep, your throat is part of your intestines. It's the beginning, right? It's the beginning of that digestive tract. And so it can kind of migrate. Staph, it's not a skin staph infection. It's just that it lives on top of the skin. And so it can come in. So these things are just everyday bacteria that we are exposed to, but we can't have them in high amounts in our gut. Pseudomonas, Morganella are really common that we see with a lot of our autoimmune clients. And so this leads to a whole host of digestive symptoms, imbalances in the good bacteria and the beneficial bacteria, worsening leaky gut, which leads to big food sensitivities and things like that. And again, preventing the good guys from just doing their job. So when they overgrow, they really take over. They take all the resources, the food, all the things and kind of like bully out the good guys. And the good guys do important things for us. They help us, convert nutrients. They help us reduce inflammation. They help us with metabolism. And then there are specific strains that have been studied that the test also shows that can be related to various autoimmune diseases. So it's not saying if you have that strain, you have this specific autoimmune disease, but it is so important to be able to see, oh, I need to get ahead of this because we know it's a spectrum. Okay, so these are the signs you may have it. It's pretty much like a lot of what we've gone through, but I will also throw in histamine reactions. What's really great is we're able to see certain bacteria that can cause histamine reactions. And so we know, oh, if we kill that, we eradicate that, histamine reactions should subside. It doesn't have to be this, forever sentence, okay? Okay, last one, parasites. So things like Blastocystis hominis, D. fragilis, Giardia. I had Giardia. Oh my God. If you've ever had a dog that had Giardia, like it's nasty. It's more prevalent than often recognized, and it can trigger immune responses that lead to inflammation, fatigue, and mysterious health issues. So these, again, I'm giving you the most common, but it can really be all over the map because they're nasty. They're parasites, right? Like they are stealing things from us. So again, constipation, diarrhea, chronic bloat, skin issues, and itching, okay, especially anal or vaginal. So if you're out here with an itchy butt, we want to make sure we're testing this. Unexplained weight loss and appetite changes, abdominal pain, and then reflux or nausea. Maggie, we do see C. diff every once in a while, not hugely common. So I was just going to go through the common ones, but we do see it sometimes, yes. And if you have any questions about that, let us know because there are nuances where it's also showing, and Corey dug really into this a lot. My beautiful team joined me. But it's also like showing if you have a genetic disposition to issues with C. diff. So I'll just leave that right there, but we are happy to answer more on that. So just type me in the chat or raise your hand because I want to take a quick pulse check. Some of you already shared that you're like, oh my God, this is me. So just let me know if those symptoms hit kind of close to home for you. You're like, ooh, it could be a GI infection, parasite, or imbalance. Just let me know where we're at. Thank you for sharing that. As well, I just want to say, if you have a diagnosed autoimmune disease like Hashimoto's or any other, we know that 70 to 80% of the immune system is in the gut. So to reduce antibodies, to reduce inflammation, to support your immune system in a healthy way, we always want to check there. Okay. So you're dealing with these symptoms and you got to live your day-to-day life, which we know as a modern human All these things affect the gut, like daily and chronic stress of movement. Can you guys just make sure you're on mute?
It's downstairs. Outside.
Uh,
Where's the curtain that we had hanging up there? Wasn't it?
Okay, I muted you. Okay, so daily stress, lack of movement, PPIs, pain meds, antibiotics, like I said, even if it was more in your past. Rushed, mindless eating. Who's doing that? I know a lot of us are. We just need to practice our way out of it and slow down, but it's just such a thing, right? And it's a big deal. Eating processed foods because standard Americans, standard modern people, right? Like we're just like grab and go. Excessive sugar, caffeine, alcohol, skipping meals. Be honest. Are we skipping breakfast because someone told us that was good for us? It's not. Has someone, or no, we're skipping lunch because we're so busy at work. We didn't have time to meal prep. These things add up. You have one body. All of these things add up. Poor sleep. Sleep is life. How are we going to heal if we're not sleeping? Right? And all these things are related. It just has these like chicken and egg, situations, right? Of course, there's other issues, environmental factors, toxins, surgeries, but we can do so much about this. That is the good news, right? Your body is a self-healing organism, and when it gets its needs met in the right order, these things resolve. You have so much control over the process that we will walk you through. And you just being here like shows me that you're proactive and ready to take control of that. Okay. We also know the pitfalls on why women are getting stuck. Okay. And we've been there ourselves, by the way. So, number one, accepting your labs look normal, right? Doctors are right. They said it was normal. And then not testing your root causes. So, of course, they look normal when no one is testing for these things, when conventional medicine doesn't look to optimize or properly support chronic illness. Okay. Western medicine is great for a lot of things, not chronic illness. Okay. Just using band-aids on symptoms, trying to solve everything with stricter elimination diets and random probiotics. Like I said, diet alone cannot heal your gut. I tried. And by eliminating too much, you actually reduce microbiome diversity and increase food sensitivities and leaky gut issues. Not to mention, it is stressful. Aren't we trying to reduce stress? We know stress is a major trigger. And then it's just really a spray and pray approach. It's not unique to you and what you need. Treating infections alone. So if you have treated some infections, a lot of smart, proactive women often improve their symptoms temporarily, but revert to feeling not so well because they didn't do the terrain work, right? They didn't change the environment in their body so that the symptoms and infections don't keep coming back. Right? And that brings me to the next point, not addressing the terrain. And again, a lot of that is done through daily routines, yes, through diet, all of that stuff. Waiting for thyroid meds to fix it, right? I wish it were that simple. And we are all for thyroid meds for the right people, like as it can really help when appropriate, but without the body healing root causes, it's just another Band-Aid, right? Synthroid is the most commonly prescribed drug, right? And people still feel so crummy. And then, of course, getting completely overwhelmed and frozen by all the information out there on their social media feeds, podcasts, doctor's advice, you name it. We have to get into action with plans that work and are made specifically for you. Otherwise, we're just throwing spaghetti at the wall and probably feeling bad when it doesn't work. Does this resonate with you guys? Do you feel like you've been stuck with some of these things? Because most of our clients, whether they've only done conventional medicine or they've worked with functional practitioners, have gotten stuck in one or more of these areas as well. So you are really not alone. But after we get our hands on them, to build a more resilient gut, here are some very typical wins from our clients. We see things like bloat, constipation, reflux healing in as little as 6 to 12 weeks. People who have been sleeping upright for decades suddenly not needing their tongues anymore. Women on laxatives for a decade or more daily, not needing it for over a month when we get our hands on them, right? And then bloat, bye, bye. Who needs it? For people that were complaining about the hair thinning and hair loss, is it a long road? Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. The hair loss and hair growth takes a while. But when your body gets what it needs, it improves. Okay. So we have Molly here with her before and after for her hair growth. Weight loss for people who are feeling stuck with weight gain and that they can't lose any weight. So common with thyroid and gut issues. Thyroid antibodies reducing in 3 months. This person went from 200 to 184 to now 112. That's almost completely cut in half with 3 months. Like, this is how quickly the body can move. It doesn't matter how long you've been at this, I promise you. Psoriasis, skin issues that we often always see accompanying this too, healed in 3 months or less. We have someone here who is on AIP for over 5 months, couldn't get rid of it. Okay. And in just 4 weeks, almost completely disappeared with our method. Okay. So it's just, I love that you're trying. I love that you are doing so much. Let's not feel bad about that. Let's feel awesome about how proactive you are showing up for your body. And let's try something else. Right? So let's dig in to how we get these incredible results with our third part today, creating a resilient gut. So, like I mentioned, we need two parallel paths here. Okay. We don't just want to heal, we want to build resilience. Okay. That is what I've come through, guys. Like, yeah, I got Hashimoto's into remission. SIBO, I've never had to deal with again, thankfully, right? Like, oh, so many things that it's like, it was just like, okay, I found my rhythm. I know I'm confident. I got my daily schedule going. So that's the terrain, right? And that's what allows us to get off these elimination diets and get away from all these crutches eventually and just open up and feel good about nourishing ourselves while we target infections and imbalances. Okay. So we do both together. Allie, no, the bloating should not come back. And so many times it's like you learn so much when you implement like different daily schedules and things like that. So when the thing that might be causing that is eradicated, we've done that, right? Then we also change the environment so it can't keep coming back. So that's the key thing. So as you're keeping up with your daily tools, your daily schedule, it shouldn't come back. If it did, maybe it was because like, oh yeah, I got a little bloated today because I rushed my eating or I was super duper stressed. I'll be fine tomorrow, right? So there's some bloat that it's like, oh, I get it. I get why that happened. There's other bloat that you're like, what the actual heck? This makes no sense anymore. And we know that's an infection, right? Um, Intermittent fasting is usually not okay. Usually not. And it depends what you mean. But if it's like a traditional 16-hour fast, I see so many women really struggle on that. Really struggle with thyroid issues, with PCOS, with hormone issues. Like it's usually causing problems. So here's what I want to say. There's health advice, and then there's health advice for us, for the autoimmune, for the Hashis, all of that. And that's what we love to help with. Okay. So I want to gauge how many of you, raise a hand or type me in the chat, have done a stool test like this, a functional stool test like the GI map, but it didn't really help long term. Tell me in the chat because I want to know who we're working with. Jenna, yes. Allie, it really depends. It's bio-individual to the person. Usually gluten for thyroid issues is not going to be a great idea. But that said, like I've had clients that can dabble. I've dabbled a little bit and nothing happens. But it takes some healing and it's just really important to honor your bio-individuality. Okay, so we got yes, no, yes, yes, work with many of our clients work with functional doctors. Yep, but still bloated. Yeah, exactly. But it's still a problem. It's still not resolved everything. Okay, that's really helpful. And then raise your hand if you've not ever done functional stool testing like a GI map, but you've done elimination diets. And I know I've got people in both camps here too, but I want to know the people who have not tested and you've done that. Allie, where are you located? Because we have an international lab in Europe. that when we worked with international clients, we can usually support them depending where you're at. Yes, I know. Wants to put you on 34 supplements a day. I know. Guys, we love functional doctors. A functional doctor, like, certainly changed my life. However, they're diagnostic. They're still doctors. Doctors are not going to be with you in the day to day. They're not going to help with the terrain. They're just not. Like, that is what they're not going to help with. And that's what we often see is like so many of our clients will work with functional doctors. They'll get a GI map, they'll do a protocol, they still feel awful. So it's not your fault for going to them. They have an important role to play. They're diagnostic. They can prescribe medication. Like I can't do that, you know? So it's helpful to have a team, but who's going to help you in the day to day? How do we make sure these things stop coming back? You know? Functional doctors love it when we get our hands on their patients because they're like things are actually working. Um, okay. Oh, amazing. Jamaica. I feel like we can talk. We can talk. Maybe it's still possible. In the UK, not an issue. Shouldn't be an issue at all. All the elimination diets I've not tested. I've done the elimination diet and a SIBO cleanse. Yeah, but thyroid and digestion still feel off. That's great, Marisa. It's great that you're making progress. Yes, Allie, we absolutely can. We absolutely can. Okay. That proactive. Like, can I just say that? Like, look at everything everyone in the chat has been trying, you know, and you just being here again just shows me that. So this is going to make a lot of sense for both groups, no matter which group you were in. Guys, can you see my slide? It's just telling me my internet is unstable. It's like two little roads. Can you see those? It says two parallel paths. Awesome. Thank you guys. I just get paranoid. Thanks, Corey. All right, awesome. I just want to make sure you're missing. Okay, perfect. So these are the two parallel paths that I've been talking about. And after years of doing this in various programs with hundreds and hundreds of clients, we've dialed it into the most effective, streamlined process to not just heal the gut, but build a more resilient gut and body by bringing those two pieces together. All right, so this is how we approach the two parallel paths in order for actual healing. So if you've done the protocols before, but it fell a little flat, or you feel like you need another one, it was either just not done very well for you being a person having thyroid or Hashimoto's issues. That's what I want to say is like, I'll see some of these protocols. And this is no shade. I see really good protocols too, but I see some that I'm like, we wouldn't have done it like that. Like that's a mess. That like throwing a million supplements right off the bat, your detox pathways aren't open. Like I'm going to dig into it. So we have a certain method with addressing the root causes and doing gut healing protocols, but we just want to like put that bug in your ear that sometimes some of these protocols or gut healing methods or whatever, there's nuance with that thyroid gut connection. Okay. So when these things all work together, everything clicks and you can sustain the results so infections do not come right back. Because I know that that's the thing we really don't want. We're here to play the long game. All right. These are some of the things that we see missed with women who have tried some of this. Okay. Like many of you, like you've tried some of these things. We're eating healthy food, but blood sugar is a mess. Or you're fearful and eliminating more food than necessary, right? Making it really stressful. Maybe you're not eating enough protein, skipping meals, or stuck because of food sensitivities, right? So right off the bat, we're not getting a nourishing, right? Then we're inhaling food, rushing meals, right? Not managing stress and nervous system regulation, which let's be real, 99% of us need to be implementing this regularly as a daily practice. We're modern day humans. There's stress out there, but we are strong AF. We got to flex the muscle a little bit, okay? Movement, sitting all day and then doing heavy workouts 3 times a week. Like what? Like there's just like 0 to 100 out of nowhere, right? Overtraining, undernourishing, while mainly living a sedentary life. Problems, right? This is hitting your gut motility, is hitting detox issues, all the things. And of course, going to bed late, feeling really highly stimulated by work or blue light, while scrolling in bed, waking up in the middle of the night and not getting restful sleep. So these are the critical foundations we give our clients that really seal the deal. And you're just going to feel like a human immediately, like with all of that, okay? Then the root cause protocols that you may have tried, either the test was not good enough, right? I'll hear of some other gut tests that I'm like, no, that's not gold standard, right? Or maybe it was just conventional medicine. We see it all the time when we'll say, oh, my GI tested me for H. pylori or whatever, and we find it, just like I said, raging along with a parasite and imbalances and all these other things. So it's just a matter of different testing. You're just going to the wrong person. Because like your insurance covers it. Like, no, I know it sucks. Trust me, I know, but like they're not doing the right thing. It's just like a waste of your time and sanity. Then, so we test, we don't guess, that we just start that from the beginning. Then, this is a thing we see so often unaddressed and missed in gut healing protocols, a pre-tox. Okay? Well-meaning functional doctors and practitioners don't always build this phase in. They don't build in titration, like we have to go little by little by little, make sure you're not reacting to the supplements. Okay. So we want to do all of that with the gut healing protocols. Instead, we see people just jump right in to the next piece, which is eradication or killing infections without first opening the detoxification pathway so you can actually feel good and you're not herxing, which is like a die-off reaction, having die-off reactions the entire time. So we want you to feel decent. We want you to function and feel good. We had someone recently who was like, I did a GI map protocol with a functional doctor like a year or two ago, and I was so sick, I didn't know how I was going to get through it. And then she did one with us, and she was like, after like 2 days of just like a little bit of weird poop, I was fine. And it's like, okay, see, these nuances are really matter. Okay. We're not here to like rush. We want to do it right. Okay. So we do that. We get into the eradication. And then, of course, rebalancing, right? We want to make sure there's healing happening. We want to make sure you're getting foods back, all the things so that it can really be effective. So the order really matters here, guys. And sometimes it's not your fault. It's just like condensed or things are skipped over or there's no nuance or there's no support, right? If we need to change something. And so bringing it all together in a simple targeted plan with support is ultimately what we pride ourselves in for the best results. And these are the very common results, as you saw in some of the, client wins that we see when we do this type of work. Antibodies come down, which means less pain, inflammation, hives, all the things. Digestion works. You're reintroducing foods again. You have more peace with food. You can actually travel without, maybe meat sticks every time. Your energy returns. You're not crashing at 3 p.m. Your weight stabilizes. Hormones start to stabilize more. Okay. So would this work for you? This is for the woman who you have digestive symptoms that do not go away with cleaner eating. You have or suspect a thyroid condition. You have weird food sensitivities. You generally eat well, but you feel so stuck. You're ready to understand the why behind your symptoms, not just more generic plans or band-aids. You're done blaming yourself. So many women come in like, I shouldn't have done that. I should stop it. No, you're amazing. You're trying so hard. Or blaming genetics. We've all got bad genes. I promise you. We've all got good, bad. And we're ready to actually fix the root causes. And you want a team of one-on-one support, not another DIY program. So if that's you, if that resonates, hang on with me a little bit longer because I want to invite you to get coached by us and heal your thyroid gut connection, working one-on-one inside the Resilient Gut Reset. And this is where we are actually going to take action and get you results. All right. So this is a zoomed out overview of how we help. We give you that terrain healing through the nutrition and lifestyle roadmap. So you know exactly what your daily schedule is. There's no guessing. You know what you're eating. You've got everything you need. Then we're going to actually support you through it. Okay. So you're never alone. If you have questions, we answer them and we're holding you accountable. Then we're doing testing, of course. So the functional testing and healing protocol that is so customized to you. All right. And this is going to be led by myself and my incredible clinical team. functional nutritionists who don't just study this, they have lived it. And we all practice what we preach about working smarter, not harder, because when the right strategy clicks into place, everything changes. And we absolutely love what we do. I got Corey here. I think Heather snuck in at some point, maybe not. Probably working with clients. So this is my incredible team that is there to support you. This program has everything you need and nothing you don't know fluff. So here's how it works. We start with your foundations one-on-one call to put your nutrition and lifestyle roadmap into place. This is how we're healing the terrain right off the bat, and you're going to feel so much better with this alone. And we're reviewing a functional symptom analysis as well, so that we're customizing everything to your body's needs and goals. And that way you have clarity. You have an organized daily schedule. You know exactly what to do, what to eat, everything. We'll cover detox, we'll cover sleep, movement, all the things. Because without this, nothing's getting resolved. Then we prepare you for the GI map test with that pre-tox. Usually it's a few supplements that will be best for you and get everything ordered so you can take the test. It'll come right to your door. Everything's included so that you're fully prepared and being set up for success with the protocol. And then once we have results back, we're going to meet one-on-one with you again to review it, get your protocol in place, answer any questions so you are totally held and supported, and you have everything you need to begin. And then we're going to check in weekly with a really concise and thoughtful email form to ensure you're on track with the specific metrics we want to track with and your healing protocol. And we're there to answer any questions that you have along the way, so you are so supported and never guessing. And you'll then also have 2 more one-on-one Zoom calls designed to move you through the phases, like we saw, of the healing protocol. All right, so we are there to fully support you. We're also going to do another functional symptom analysis at the end so we can compare and see what your next steps are. What would a maintenance plan look like for you? Like you're not going to finish and not know what to do, right? You're not going to be like, do I still take this? Do I still take that? No. We wrap that up for you. Okay. And if you need more, if you have new goals, whatever, we talk about it. We also have lots of awesome targeted resources you can use, like meal plans. If you've been with me for a while, I got a cookbook. I got all the meal plans that got you. Discounted supplements. We're going to give you the plug and play. Okay. And the protocol will typically last around 3 to 4 months. And so I wanted to give you a little taste of what we commonly see with our clients using this method. These are real results by week and month. So I wanted you to have a good understanding of like what this could feel like in your body. So weeks 1 to 3, just starting with your roadmap, bloat is decreasing, energy increases, cravings drop, and sleep improves. This is that strong foundation that we need. And then weeks 4 to 6, BMs are starting to get a little better. Any reflux, heartburn, nausea starts to lessen. Brain fog reduces. Clothes fit better. By week 7 to 12, more lasting energy all day. Less food reactions. Skin rashes are clearing and lessening. Pain and inflammation reduces. And then by the time we're like rounding out the protocol and getting more into maintenance mode about month 3 to 6, hair loss is reducing. I told you it's a little more longer road for that, but it's so good to see the signs because you know where it's going. So we see hair loss reducing, new growth is visible, BMs are more regular, you're enjoying foods you thought were bad, right? I had people, how many people we have like going to Italy and Paris on vacation, they're eating their things and like they're fine. Labs improve and you're you again. So I wanted to like forecast this out with that in mind. Where could you actually be? Today is May 12th, right? So where would you actually be if you master everything that we give you, right? By Memorial Day, first week of June, less bloat. We're fitting into our pants a little bit easier. We're not crashing at 2 p.m. or needing a nap when we get home, right? We're not feeling hangry in between our meals or craving sugar and caffeine just to get through the day. You're feeling more restful with much better sleep. By early June to the first day of summer, which is June 21st, which that'll be around 4 to 6 weeks, you're not planning life around your BMs anymore. They are improving. You're not popping Tums every evening or needing to sleep elevated. Your mental clarity is returning. You can focus. Your mood is lifting. Inflammatory weight is dropping, so you're fitting to your clothes with more confidence if that's a thing for you. And then it just goes on from there. July 4th, we're picking up our hobbies again. We're keeping up with our kids and our friends, right? Like we're just having so much more energy. We're navigating barbecues and vacations with ease and confidence. We're wearing what we want to wear without covering up skin rashes. Like this is what I'm talking about. This is where it hits us in the day to day. By the time Labor Day and fall rolls around, your hairdresser is like, oh my God, look at all this new hair growth, right? There's less hair in the shower. Your digestion is so much more normal. Your lab markers are improving. And ultimately, you feel like you again. Okay. These are the actual markers we have seen changed with women time and time again. We've got antibodies reducing from 500 to 255. That's almost cut in half in 3 to 4 months. We've got cholesterol going down and improving dramatically. Inflammation coming down also in about 3 to 4 months by embracing our method and jumping all the way in with support. So I know we're hitting time now. I'm going to move through these pretty quickly. As a webinar attendee, you are getting early access since we have just 10 spots available for this and applications are open as of right now. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that link for you so that you can get on my calendar. Hold on one second. Okay, I know some of you had to drop off, so don't worry. I'm going to send this out to you. So you're just going to go to the link that I just dropped in the chat. If you are ready to go, any of this is clicking, you're like, yes, this is the type of support that I know can help me. You're going to go to foodbymars.com/RGR or just click that link in the chat. Step 2, fill out the application and book your free consult with me. If after reviewing your application for any reason, I can see that I can't help, I'm going to let you know. I will cancel the call. I don't want to waste your time. Otherwise, I'm going to chat. I want to learn more and review your case personally so that I can walk you through what this would look like for you specifically. We'll go through pricing, payment plans, timing, everything. Okay. Plus, we have an amazing bonus when you enroll by this Friday, May 15th, as space is available. I mentioned the protocol typically takes like 3 to 4 months. So we are giving you an extra 2 months of coaching access free, making it 6 months coaching access with free blood lab review, either at the beginning or end. So if you already have labs now, give them to us. We're going to look at them as long as they're recent. And then we can make recommendations on specific lab markers that we would want to see at the retest, especially. So that way we know we're testing the right things and we're looking at them to be optimized. So that means we're going to advise on the blood labs that you will order. You're going to either bring them to your doctor to order, or we can, help you find places that we can do it directly. And then we'll review them and add in any or dietary tweaks based off of that. A full 2 extra months of expert coaching access, so you are never short on time. You never have to rush or worry. And then, of course, the exclusive early access to the 10 spots available right now in the reset. This bonus alone is worth $1,200. It ends after this Friday, May 15th. Okay. All right. Whew, I had to I know you guys have work and stuff like that. But you've got everything now. You've got everything to decide. If you are like, ooh, I'm so curious. I feel like this could be a good thing. I want to talk to you. Okay. So the link is in the chat, or you can go to foodbymars.com/RGR and we will talk. We'll figure it all out. What questions do you have based on anything we reviewed, your symptoms, anything you've tried, or anything you want to know? I'm here with you for a few more minutes. Oh, there's some questions in the chat. Okay. Yeah, a lot of people have MTHFR gene with Hashimoto's. On your roadmap, can you give more details on nervous system regulation? I have so much lightheadedness when overstimulated or when going from dark to light room, or if too much is going around. That's so important to know. We hear of this a lot. Like our senses are like on high alert and all the things. So the nervous system regulation, especially that we love, is gut brain targeted. So it can be things like meditation, hypnotherapy. That said, that's not the only thing within your daily schedule that would be working on that. It's just a really nice targeted thing for a lot of digestive and immune issues. We're going to regulate your nervous system as much as we can all day long. Maybe it's walks, maybe it's joy activities like painting or listening to music or whatever it is, right? So that is something we would go through with you one-on-one to make sure is implemented in your daily schedule. The other really big thing that's helpful for nervous system regulation is mindful eating. So we slow down, we chew our food, all of those practices, okay? Because that's especially hitting us in the digestion when it comes to nervous system. Oh, thanks for asking, Rebecca. That's great to know. What we've done with some people, so it depends. Like, did you already start a protocol? Did they give you a protocol? Sometimes, people have the test results, but they didn't do anything yet. Um, so because the understanding would be we'd want to take that over. We'd want to lead that if we are going to be the ones to support it. So I would want to know a little bit more, Rebecca, if you want to do it like after the thing, or what we can do, which we've definitely done a lot in the past, is we do the retest. So maybe you finish out that protocol. If there's anything we would change with it, we'll let you know. It's usually minimal, but we might just make improvements if we need to. And then we help you with that day-to-day schedule, that roadmap. So we're making sure it's really popping off and going to work for you. And then we could do a retest at the end if you want. Okay. So I would say let's chat because we can take it either way you want. Okay. What else, guys? Tell me, Allie, you put what about, but the rest didn't come through. Yeah. So we have had many people in the group because of thyroid, because of Hashimoto's, that have been through this journey too. So I just want you to know that, like, you are not alone. I myself, it just took me a really long time to get pregnant. And I know the stress, I know what's up against us, all the things. So we would start with gut and detox. And in our functional symptom analysis, it will help us be even more targeted on more of the hormone kind of stuff. And so if we wanted to add more hormone testing too, we can do that. We could do that with some blood, but then there's also an awesome like functional test that we like to use called the Dutch. So that might really help. Okay. There's also vaginal microbiome testing. I would want to talk to you and see what would be the best way to customize your journey for your goals. Because I absolutely want that as part of the goals. Right? We've had women, I mean, with amenorrhea, like meaning they don't have their period for 10 years. I would say, how long did it take Hannah? 4 months. She got her period back. She's had it every single month since. So she's trying to conceive. So it's like your body can do so much. Like it is incredible. We've had so many new moms recently, like in our graduate group and everything. So we would love to support you with that, of course. Awesome. Thank you guys. And Allie, in case my brain is flubbing a little bit, but if you were the one also asking about like if we can't do labs, like what else is there? So much. For so many years, I ran my coaching program where at least for 3 months, we were working through like day-to-day roadmap foundations work that honestly alone would start to get people into Hashimoto's remission. Okay. And then we'd see what labs do we want to add. So I just want to say that like there's so much power in putting in the daily reps on knowing your daily schedule on what's going to support your body specifically. Oh, Annabelle, great question. Yes. So you can do certain, like we have certain supplements. We have like a whole separate thing saved for postpartum and pregnancy and all that. And just so you know, like I've had two babies. I'm with you. So I'm going to oversee that anyway. But we would support you through that just slightly differently. That's all, because we want to make sure baby is good. Can you tell me like how old is baby? Is it like all day, is it 6 months? months, congrats. Yeah, so it's still fairly early on in terms of I'm sure they need a lot of milk all day. So yeah, we would work through that, and then we would also work through the timeline of everything for you, and we will do the most that we can do very safely for you. And if there's anything that we're like, okay, this part maybe we revisit like when you're done breastfeeding. So just so you know, we'll build it out really safe and effectively. I've done that with a lot of clients. You're welcome. What else, my loves? Yeah, there's so much power too with like because we love to be nutrition first. Corey especially is like so good with this, where it's like we want to eat these types of foods like as much as we can throughout the week because that's going to help rebalance our gut bacteria. And it doesn't always have to be fermented foods, by the way, because we know some people react to those. They're not in a good place to eat those. That's okay, guys. It's not a failing just because it's healthy. Like it's okay. It's not for you right now. Like that's okay. But there's plenty of foods that you should be fine with that we can lead with that. We can lead with herbs that's more food based, and so there's just a lot we can do. Guys, you have been so wonderful. Thank you for sharing your journey, your scores, the symptoms, the things that you have tried. We so appreciate, and we appreciate you taking time out of your day to spend with us. I hope to hear from you soon. As you see, all the details are on the screen. You can go fill out an application to chat with me personally. I'm going to go through your case, see what we would best recommend and work on for you because we do have a couple of options with the way we can go for things. We are HSA and FSA friendly if that's something you want to use. Otherwise, we have payment plans and lots of options to work with us. Let's see what else. And then we've got that awesome bonus. So we're here today on Tuesday, May 12th, and the bonus is running through May 15th. So get on my calendar this week. And if you choose to pull the trigger, we got you and you got some nice bonuses. All right, guys. All right, have a beautiful day. I'm going to send the replay to you guys because I know so many people had to drop off because I was a little too gabby. And I will make sure everybody has it. Okay, my loves, thank you so much for joining. We will talk to you soon.